Some people have said that they want to know how to fix easy, lean, and green. And right here, I'm making something that's fairly easy. It's going to be really tasty, I know that. I've got about 1.5 cups of mushrooms in here, and I'm sauteing them in some olive oil, which will be my healthy fat. And then after I get them all done, I'll measure them, and I've got here 2 eggs and 1/2 cup of cottage cheese, which is my lean. That makes 1 full lean. And some people wonder, well, why is it that if you had 1.5 cups of mushrooms to begin with, which is 3 greens, that you have to measure it again after you cook it? But here's the reason. And let me use an example of onions, okay? You know how when you have raw onions and you cook them, they, first of all, you end up having less. The volume decreases, okay, because you're losing water as they cook. But also there are chemical changes that happen, and some of the starches end up turning into sugars. That's why they're sometimes called caramelized onions. That's why people like to have the sauteed onions on top of their steak or whatever, because it has a sort of a sweet flavor. It's no longer just crunchy, but it kind of becomes smooth, almost with a coating on it, and much easier to chew. Well, chemical changes happen, and that actually is changing the makeup of the macronutrients in the vegetable. So, like in the case of onions, as I said, the starches turn to sugar. Well, anyway, so with these mushrooms, they also will experience not just a physical change, but they will experience a chemical change too. And I will need to remeasure them after I've cooked them, because I still get 3 greens, and 3 greens worth of mushrooms is 1.5 cups. And then, yes, I will take them out of the pan. I've got another measuring cup here to measure them. I'll see how much I have, and then I'll make up for more with either salad or, I don't know, some other vegetables, possibly green beans, because green beans are my big go-to vegetable because they're just so easy. You know, pop them in the microwave or in the oven, and they get done, and their flavor, they have a nice little flavor, but they're bland enough. They go pretty much with anything. It's surprising. So I want to show you the mushrooms. They're cooked to a degree that I will like them. When I was a little girl, my mother sometimes used to make us mushrooms on toast. And back then we would use the little cans of mushrooms, and she would cook them until they were almost dry and then serve them on buttered toast. Oh, so good. Well, I remember that I've got spinach. So I'm going to throw spinach in with this because I do like a mushroom and spinach omelet. And cooked spinach, you get 1/2 cup is 1 green. So this is going to be cooked. I'll be able to measure the mushrooms and the spinach together to see how much I've got. And if I have more, I'll just use 1.5 cups. If I have less, then I'll fill it in with, I don't know, I've got some zucchini and some yellow squash in the fridge and some salad stuff. So I'll go ahead and I'll add a little bit of video onto the end to show you the finished product. Saw how much spinach I had. That was quite a bit. Look at what it's cooked down to. I mean, hardly anything. so I'm just about ready to measure this and see how many servings of greens I have. Okay, so I've got just a little bit shy of a cup of vegetables here. So I think what I'm going to do, oh yes, oh yeah. I've got a bunch of this spiralized yellow squash in the freezer. And I'm going to have like a little side dish to my omelet, which I will start to cook right now. I will measure out a half a cup of the spiralized squash, and then I'm going to put over it a little bit of raspberry vinaigrette and eat it icy cold. It is so good and so refreshing, especially in the summer, to have something like that. And I know I'm inside with the air conditioning, but it's summer out there, right? So I'm going to kind of spread things around here to mix them all up. Oh golly, this is going to be so good. So I'm actually going to have a lovely lean and green of 2 eggs, a half a cup of cottage cheese, that's my lean, a cup of mushrooms and spinach that have been cooked and are a cup after cooking, and then a side salad of spiralized yellow squash with raspberry vinaigrette dressing on it. Wow, oh I can't wait. I'll be back to show you. So I've got my Skinny Girl raspberry vinaigrette. I'm going to pour it over my half a cup, just a little bit over my half cup of spiralized zucchini. Can you see that? It's very pretty. And my omelet is almost done. You know, if you serve this in a small dish so it looks like it's formed into the shape of the dish, you could even get away with calling it a frittata. Frittata means something fried, and usually it has other ingredients in it besides eggs, and kind of almost a cross between an omelet and a quiche. So I'm just going to serve this up now. Oh, it's lovely. Let me show you here. It's got some browned places. The cottage cheese is going to make it very moist. And I am going to put down this phone now because I don't want to lose any of it spilling. It is ready to eat. See you later.